tonight, Seahawks game 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs. I was just trying to think last night, Brock, about people that can help themselves tonight. And let me start by saying, this is bad radio, but I'll say it anyway. Everything I'm about to say might be totally worthless. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to try to give you some people that I think could try to help themselves tonight. But it's also entirely possible that none of this really matters very much at all.
I just, and this is an area, thankfully, that we do continue to disagree, because I don't think this is spring training baseball. I don't. Now, there are certainly a lot of spots because of contracts and guarantees that guys are set. Mm-hmm. And yes, to that point, sure, we're talking about players 30 through 53, a lot more than we are players 1 through 30, because those are largely through draft status, through trades, through contracts, the Leonard Williams, all the moves. We could probably go through 20, 25 guys that are already set. But there still are for those other 25.
I know that, but I'm going to give you 5 answers to this question, and none of them, I think, are really maybe a couple, but they're mostly not people battling for roster spots, but they might be people sort of, who I think could help themselves for different reasons. So here's a quick list. Number 1 would be all of the running backs, really the top 4. So the top 2 guys battling for, the most number of carries, meaning Ken Walker and Charbonnet, right? Like just battling to see who's the starting running back, who's going to get the lion's share this year. And then the next 2 guys, who I assume are Damian Martinez and Halani, battling to see who's next.
Oh, I would think, and based on order of play last week, I think that is Holani and Martinez behind him.
Okay, yes.
And then even the youngster that came in and ran really hard in the system. Think about San Francisco, Shanahan, all the they'll take 5th rounders.
I'm going to be a little biased about that guy because I watched him doing pass protection.
Jakari, Jakari Wright,
and it was a tough watch.
Jacardia
Wright, and he was struggling. It was not great watching him do that. And I just imagine if you're going to be the last running back on the team, you've got to be able to do that. I would think that would be awfully important. And when
blink scouted him.
I blink scouted it. I only watched one. As I said, I'm a little biased because of what I saw. I saw him struggling there, and probably not surprising for an undrafted rookie. But I saw Martinez look pretty darn good doing that. And so I'm going to guess that factors in as well.
Well, Damian Martinez better have 2 smelling salts stuck up both nostrils, and he better go tonight, because he cannot afford to let those other guys just run harder, play harder. Like that dude he's got to play really well.
Which Seahawks can help themselves the most tonight? Nick Emmanwori, again, he's going to get playing time, but I'm just saying, how much can they get him on the field? How much can he handle? How many different roles can he play? I would think he's still in a position of being able to help himself.
Yep. I would agree with that. Hopefully it's 10 to 15 plays tonight. Hopefully it's the first quarter or the first quarter and a half, or, a couple 3 and outs. And hopefully he can make an impactful play. He can feel that he can kind of find his footing as well, because he's done a bunch of it in the practice and on the practice field. But you need to see him be able to cut it loose tonight.
All right. Third person for me is Jalen Milroe, not just because I'm obsessed, although maybe partly because I'm obsessed. But look, can he show that he needs some time? Maybe in special situations, can he show that he can be trusted? I don't know whether he can do all of that in a game like this. To me, that's probably more over the course of the entire preseason and training camp, and it's more of a day-to-day thing. But he's always going to be on my list just because of the talent.
Yeah, we talked earlier in the week about Spagnuolo and the scheme and the depth and the number of players they have for Kansas City on their second and third units that have experience in it. I would love to see in that second half that it's not just vanilla, that he actually has to process. He actually sees some different looks and lots of disguise. And hopefully he'll get an opportunity to show some of that.
There was, I don't know if you heard this. This was Mike McDonald on the Get Got podcast with Marshawn and others. And he is talking specifically about Milroe. And I think you hear some of the excitement, some of the reason they're high on him.
I'm begging him. I'm like, dude, do you realize how much of a pain in the ass you are? It's just he's got great arm talent, really, really smart, great worker. But
thank you
he
for
has
that.
the legs.
Thank you for that.
But he has the trump card.
Yeah.
So hey man, use it.
Yeah.
You can have it. You can have it all. You can do everything. Mm-hmm. So everything is better than some of the things. So do that.
True.
And He understands it. He understands it. And he's so committed to being a great quarterback, which he's going to be. Mm-hmm. And so I'd much rather work with a guy with that attitude than just say, like, hey, screw it, just give me the ball. I'm just going to run around. Like, we don't want to operate like that. So, but he's going to get there. And it was a great first outing. And but the cool thing about Jalen, he's the first guy to tell you, like, hey, this is where I want to grow. Yep. This is where I'm trying to go. And he'll be working on it.
Yeah, you want to have that mastery. We talk about this. We've talked about it a couple different times, and you brought it up even on the practice field. Like, man, the practice field it's not really where he comes to life as much. Those legs just don't come to life in game situations and full speed. And what every defensive coordinator that I've ever talked to in my life has always said, that those guys are the ones that keep you up. Because you could do everything right, get the perfect call, get everybody in the right spot, and he just erases it with his just elite athleticism.
It's funny that's what would keep them up. Like, I would think if I was a defensive coordinator, when that happens, I kind of shrug my shoulders and be like, all right, well, I did the best I could. Like, we did it right. The guy ended up making a great play. I would be much more concerned with the Peyton Mannings of the world, where, like, I feel like I've got to find a way to beat him because I can. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. That's 3. Just looking at Seahawks that could help themselves the most tonight. How about Maquez Valdes-Scantling? It feels like, at least in the public eye, his stock has fallen as Tory Horton's has risen. Mm-hmm. And Clint Kubiak was pretty clear this week that he didn't feel that way.
I think he's had a really good camp. I think he's battling with a lot of guys, but his speed really shows up. Coach has done a phenomenal job of keeping the top off of our offense with some of their coverage looks. So some of the stuff that he's shined hasn't shown up as much. But I see the guy winning on his routes, see a guy with a great attitude, and see a big-time player for us.
Mm-hmm. I think I would agree with both of those things. First of all, he's been healthy. That's been a challenge for MVS. Is just kind of a lean muscle mass guy at times over the course of his career. And then, yes, against this kind of shell defense, right? Those moon balls, those deep balls, the thin to win posts, the stuff that gets over the top, there's not a lot of opportunity. And maybe a little more opportunity with Kansas City. Again, a little bit more aggressive. Mm-hmm. We'll give you some of those looks and some of those pressures, and hopefully he has a chance to cut it loose a little bit tonight as well.
Last one.
One more?
Yeah, last one for me would be Elijah Arroyo. And again, just trying to figure out, what are we looking at here? Is this somebody who can contribute right away? Is this more of a project? I would think he's still in a position. He's listed, I think, as 3rd on the depth chart for whatever that's worth. Probably not a lot, but A.J. Barner, I think Saubert was next, and then he was 3rd. I don't know if it really plays out that way, but just trying to figure out, how much can he contribute? Is he a red zone threat? Is he a weapon that is part of this passing attack that's going to need its tight ends to be something? Because the wide receivers, let's face it, while they may be good, are not elite. It is not like the strength of this unit.
Good for you, Salky. Good job.
Why?
No, you nailed it on the tight end on the depth chart here.
I saw it the other day. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you got strong memory.
You know that's true. Recall is really one of my specialties.
Can I give you a couple others?
I thought you meant I nailed it on my list. Like, that was a really good list of 5 people that could help themselves.
I think that's really well done.
Right.
I can't really nitpick too many of them. I just add maybe a couple other little entrees to it. And I think Josh Jobe is just that, and Nehemiah Pritchett, those guys. Because we know they come to play, like, over the course of a season. That we can talk about depth in a lot of spots. Got to have enough receivers. Got to have enough D linemen. Man, you lose a Reek or you lose a Spoon, those next tier. And Pritchett's had a very good camp. I think he's pushing Josh Jobe, who they gave a 1-year deal to. So I think those 2 guys going at it, especially against what they're going to see in Kansas City's offense, will be fun to watch. And then Tory Horton. That line that Mike has used a couple different times, quoting the old Steve Smith about, stacking a big play every day. That's if you want to make your mark as a 5th-round wide receiver, it's not, hey, man, I had a good first game. Oh, man, I had a good couple weeks camp. Okay, do it again and do it again and do it again and stack those days and stack those plays and stack that momentum. Kind of excited to watch him go at it again.
Well, it'll be fun. Again, everything we just said might mean nothing, right? I mean, like, the coaches may have some thoughts on all of that has, very little to say, very little to do with the way tonight plays out. But those are people that kind of jumped out to me.